Let's turn to our panel for some rapid-fire response on these stories tonight. A new poll confirms that Tea Partiers are conservatives who don't like the Republican Party. That could be good news for Democrats in the midterms. New details about the group that sent warning letters to all 50 U.S. governors. The FBI thinks it was a harmless publicity stunt, but investigators fear it could incite others to violence. And liberal Justice John Paul Stevens, who celebrates his very young 90th birthday this month, may be ready to step down from the Supreme Court. With us tonight on these stories, Stephanie Miller, nationally syndicated radio talk show host, and Heidi Harris, who is a talk show host on AM 720 KDWN in Las Vegas. All right, the Tea Partiers. These are conservatives who aren't happy with the Republicans. Heidi, do you think that poll is accurate?
I think it probably is. Absolutely. You know, the Republicans spent a lot of money during the Bush years, and a lot of people aren't thrilled about the Republicans. However, I don't think that necessarily portends well for the Democrats. I wouldn't be counting their chickens yet, because that doesn't mean that those people who are disaffected are going to go for the Democrats. I don't think that's going to happen.
All right. Stephanie, your thoughts on that?
Well, I guess I am counting my chickens, Ed, because I think that that peels votes away from Republicans. And I think we've seen that already with the infighting in the Republican Party and among the Tea Party. I mean, Sarah Palin got booed campaigning for John McCain by teabaggers who are for his opponent. So, you know, I think there's more disarray on the right now than there is on the left, certainly.
Stephanie, what do you make of this group that sent out letters saying that they would, if governors didn't remove themselves, they would be removed? How do you view that?
I think that's dangerous rhetoric, Ed, when we see a lot of cases of real violence that you cannot deny that is fueled by a lot of this right-wing rhetoric and anti-government rhetoric. And, you know, I understand that that may not be their goal, but what does that say to the crazies that they can leave or be removed? Heidi, what does that say?
Heidi, is it over the top? What do you think?
Well, I think that rhetoric's over the top, no question about it. I actually listened to one of those broadcasts of that so-called group who has a so-called radio show. Like, who doesn't these days, right? And the guys are wackos. They don't speak for conservatives. These guys are wackos. I mean, no one takes them seriously, and no one's going to believe them or follow them because they send out some letters. They're desperate for attention. I don't agree with anything they say. But by the way, it's interesting. If you read some of their rhetoric, they're also against foreclosures. How is that a conservative value? Go ahead, bring the foreclosures, get the free market working again. I don't even know what these guys stand for.
All right, Heidi, I want to ask you, let's do a Limbaugh story here tonight. Limbaugh claims that the president is playing out character assassination. You agree with that?
You know, I'm not going to bash Rush Limbaugh or any other host. I don't bash you either, or Stephanie, or anybody else. But, you know, Rush is a master of you know, making it about himself as far as talking, you know, and making the argument about his show, which is great. That's why he makes millions of dollars, and he set the stage for all of us, and we're thankful for that.
Okay, well, no, he didn't set the stage for a lot of talkers, but he likes to take credit for that. Here's I guess the way I view it is that he claims that the president is engaged in character assassination. Now, Stephanie, I find it ironic that this is a guy who has ripped apart Obama on the airwaves countless hours for the last several years. What do you think?
Well, you know, it's like a parallel universe, Ed. I mean, obviously, Rush Limbaugh is the one that's engaged in character assassination, you know, with the name calling and the wants the president to fail. I don't think anybody, even if you don't agree with the president, believes that he's involved in character assassination. And by the way, Heidi, I spend my entire show bashing you, so I'm disappointed to learn that you don't bash us.
I wish you would, Stephanie. That's so sweet. I know you love me.
All right, let's talk about this 90-year young Supreme Court justice who's talking about stepping down, John Paul Stevens. This is going to open a big opportunity for the Obama administration to put a liberal on the court. Heidi, what do you think?
Well, maybe, unless he just steps down after November. You never know what's going to happen during the elections. I don't know what'll happen. I mean, of course he'll put a liberal in there, and he'll put somebody in there who's, I don't know, another wise Latina. It's not going to be a white guy. We know that. And it's not going to be a conservative, so who knows? But we'll see what happens in November, won't we?
Stephanie?
I want the most liberal person ever, Ed, for balance. I want Shakira. I want maybe Michael Moore, maybe Castro. And I said it here on the Ed Show. Castro.
Stephanie Miller, Heidi Harris, good to have you on tonight. Thanks so much.